Hey, what's going on? So this is the pose we're going to use for our figure today, and we're going to do the Toxic Avenger. So we're going to do that, but first I need to get this pose down. I want to use this pose. I want to pretend like he thinks he's good looking. I thought that'd be fun. So I want to kind of get that cocky, off center head a little bit. I'm doing well, Wendy. How are you? I did my stream early this time because normally one or two people show up, and I'm like, I go to bed awfully late, and I'm making these sacrifices for people that aren't showing up and people that don't care. So why am I bending over and doing so much that it doesn't? I don't know. I'm really trying to stay positive while I reevaluate my position. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm constantly second guessing, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help that I don't have any jobs lined up. Like, nothing is on the table. That's kind of, money is tight, and I don't have, I don't know what to do. Because once I stop doing art, like, I'm not going to come back to it. Like, I'll just be done with it. I will say to myself, hey, you gave it a good shot. And that's, I just don't, I don't normally go back to things after I've, so I'm not looking forward to having to make that. But thank you, Wendy, for showing up. I'm glad you were able to stop in at least to say hi. I know that it's not the most entertaining shit to be a part of. And like I said, I'm not bitter that people aren't showing up to the streams. I need to pay bill. I need some work. I'm sure everybody does. So it's not just, it's like it's a me thing, but. I get it. Things are really tight here too. Yeah, Wendy, I think that at the level where I currently find myself, it's more of a, it appears anyway to me, and this could just be just me not knowing better, but it feels more like a popularity contest and it's not as talent driven as I wished it was. You know, I wish it was more talent driven than it is, but it seems to be popularity based, and I will not win any popularity contest. So, and I don't win popularity contests because there's a lot of lying, and I don't want to say lying, but there's definitely a lot of telling people they're good when they're not, and promising favors that you don't plan to do. There's a bunch of that, and I don't. There's no room for that in my life. At least that's the way it feels. I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah, but this is how I pay my bills. This is not like a side hustle or something I think is cool. You know, so I do this. This is all I do is make art for a living, and in order to do that, I kind of have to find work all the time. All right, I think I've got the body kind of where I want it. That's good. And I don't directly deal with it. I see it going on, and then I just choose to not be a part. I'm like, I don't need this. It's almost like the art is secondary to the amount of followers and the amount of fake hype that speculator people try to put on shit. I don't know. Fuck it. It's not for me. So it's not a 1-for-1 pose, but oh shit. I was going to show you again. So this is kind of, oh, I guess I should zoom in a little bit. So this is kind of where similar, you know, just so I can get the lay of the land, so to speak. And then now I will switch it over to the Toxic Avenger's face and see what we can do with that. Because, you know, he's got the one droopy eye and the kind of melted forehead and stuff. So he's also got like a very bulbous nose area. It kind of comes short, like it doesn't go up where all the way where a nose could be. And you got like this blob right here, and then this comes down, and there's like a big ball here. And then the eyeball is just kind of like over here. And then this whole shit's kind of saggy. His head's also kind of wide, so we have to kind of widen this out more than I had it. All right, so he's got all like this saggy stuff here. It looks like this is saggy too, starts to sag down. He does have an ear, so doesn't look like this side has an ear though. And it comes down. Let's see. There seems to be more going on up here than I've let on. Kind of jowl him up a little bit. He has excellent teeth. Like if you look at this photo, he's got some really good teeth for a toxic person. Like that's some pretty good chompers. I expected him to have more of like a mutant mouth, but that doesn't appear to be the case. All right, so I've got that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if there's another reference picture that we can kind of pull from to get. Now, see, this one doesn't have an ear, so to speak. More of just like a mutated blob area. A lot of lumpiness going on. And it carries down into the neck as well. So the neck is really not going to have any muscle. It's just going to be like this blobby stuff. And this comes around a little bit more rounder than I have it. And it looks like he wears a shirt that is melted kind of to his body. I love watching artists draw. It just amazes me how you can go so quickly, and it literally takes me weeks to do the basic line. Oh, well, I think that will, Wendy, that will come with just the more you do it. You know what I mean? Like but even if I draw every day, it would only be a couple of hours a day. I just have too much other crap. Yeah, I get it. And you're doing more than most. You know what I mean? Like some people don't even make the time to. So it looks like his shirt is just kind of like, I don't know if you can see that. Like it's like burnt or melted. So we'll just have to make some like meltiness going on. And then I was trying to look at the toys. And the toys all have with like with this orange shirt kind of ripped off and a headband, but I didn't want to do the headband, but I'll do the t-shirty thing. All right, and that's all we really need. So we'll grab our kneaded eraser as I say the word need. Yeah, it is. It looks more melted on the movie art, like the actual thing, but the action figure doesn't really look as melted. It just kind of looks torn up. Yeah. And it looks like it could depend on which version of the Toxic Avenger. Some of that looks like Freddy Krueger burned it or something. I don't know. Well, I think that is probably pretty appropriate. 80s. I mean, Josh Brolin's character wore a headband, right, in the Goonies. All right. So now comes the fun part. We just get to make this shit up. So since this is kind of, we get to make our version. We don't have to do a one-for-one of what everyone's used to. We need to stay kind of in the ballpark so that it's not completely unrecognizable. But we don't have to make it like picture perfect. And for me, that's the funnest part about doing stuff that doesn't require likeness work is because it gives you a little well, it gives me a little bit more room to play. And you you know, as long as you get the outfit right or, you know, the cape right, people recognize that it's Superman. But, you know, if you try to draw Henry Cavill, it may it may not look like Henry Cavill. And I'm not good with making it look like real people because that's just not where I excel. If I were to excel anywhere, it wouldn't be in that area. Oh, I don't know if I can zoom in any closer. Let me see. All right, there we go. I guess I should pull my reference. Well, I've already lost the one reference I had, so I'll have to find a new one. So I need to make sure I got the lumps where I want them to be. But it looks like I have lost my lumpy reference. So now I got to pick a new one. See, that one doesn't have, that's probably the first one. It doesn't have the more well-defined lumps that the other one did. But whatever. I can't even imagine trying to draw a real person. Yes, whenever someone tries, sometimes people ask if, hey, can you draw, you know, my my dad in my cosplay, or can you draw this actor as Doctor Who or whatever? I'm like, I don't think I'm your guy. I mean, have you seen me do any other likeness work? No, you probably haven't. It requires just a skill set that I haven't developed, and I don't think I would get as much enjoyment out of drawing things that look exactly like the people. Or maybe that's just an excuse I'm making because I can't do it. Who knows? Yeah, but I mean, I do agree that knowing your limitations is good, but it also sometimes it can be too comforting to just stay and say, "Oh, I don't do that." I find myself I find myself in that boat from time to time, and someone will ask me to do something. I'm like, I don't normally do that. And then I'm like, well, when am I gonna be able to say that? Okay, I can do that. Like, I have to make an attempt. I just have to do it with more low risk jobs. Like I can't like I need to practice more on my own if that's what I want to do. And I don't do that. Like one thing I was supposed to do today, and I haven't done it yet, is I need to run my lines for the new thing I've got going in class for my new role. Like I need to I got like two separate little like monologue parts in my thing, and I have a difficult time memorizing stuff, so I need to read them so that way on Tuesday, next Tuesday, I'll be off book and I can have more fun with the I can have more fun with the role if you're off book. Oh, Ava, thank you for the congratulations, but this is just for class. Like at the beginning of class, which Tuesday was the first day of this block of classes, and they give you a he gives you a role that you'll be doing for the whole 6 week block. Like this is your this is your character, and this is your partner, and this is who you're working with. And so it's more of an exercise than like a real honest thingamabob. But thank you anyway. Yeah, I don't know how to phrase it when I say I'm working on something. I'll be like, I'm working on I'm working on memorizing these lines for class, I guess is what I should say. Yeah, so every 6 weeks, everyone gets a partner, an acting partner, and you guys will be given a scene that is uses two people. And over the course of the 6 weeks, you guys work and try different things throughout the 6 weeks to see what you can change, and answer why did you make this decision, and what could we change to make it more interesting. Well, Wendy, I thank you. It is not improv. Thank you, Wendy. I really do like it because I've always I've always wanted to try it, but I just never figured how do you get started doing that. I didn't realize it in high school, so it's not like I took theater, because I didn't know that that's something I was going to find appealing. I really enjoyed watching movies, but I didn't know that. So at the older I got, I started having friends, and we would like make skits and do our own version of Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. And then uh, it started to feel more natural to do stuff. And then when I got out of the army, um, I started teaming up with my brother and some of my high school friends and stuff, and we would do more skits. And then that just kind of petered out. Well, I had a friend that was going to like a film school, or he was going to college to study film, and I started working with him on writing. And I was like, I can't afford to do all the stuff, so maybe I'll just learn how to write. So I did a lot of studying on how to write movies and how to write screenplays. And then it would be like, oh, I have a friend of mine that's shooting a student film. Do you want to help? And I'd be like, yeah, let's go do it. And that was fun. And then I turned it. Then I went to be a cop, and just didn't have time to dedicate to all the extracurricular stuff that was needed. So I just had to kind of put it on hold and just never got back to it. And once I got out, once I stopped being a police officer due to whatever the circumstances were, right? once I stopped being a police officer, I needed to find jobs, and I was like, well, what can I do while I pursue art that could also maybe make me money? And I was like, well, I saw in Atlanta that, they were looking for extras to do stuff. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. That's still artistic. I'll go be an extra. And so I was doing, extra work. And then it just got to be like, you know what? I feel that I'm better than just doing extra work. I feel like I've got a little bit more inside my body than just moving from point A to point B in the background of a scene. And so that's when I started, like, what steps do I need to take to be a real actor? And then that's when I started taking acting classes and stuff, was after that. And then now here we are, 18 months, 19 months later, and I'm still taking classes and all that good stuff. All right, Wendy, thank you for stopping by. Have a great night. See you in a little bit. All right, how do his hands look? Does he have just like regular hands, or does he have like Toxie, like goo hands? I imagine it's probably pretty close to real hands. I guess it might be a little gooey. Who knows? I think we can make that shit up. And besides, no one's looking at this. No one's gonna. You're not turning it in. It's not. No one's buying it from you. So. Just kind of get it roughly in the area. And so I'm just pretending that this is his mop. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows he's got the mop. All right, so that's all we could do right now. Thank you, Ava. Like, well, I mean, remember, we started with, oh, that's not the pose. We had a pose. Oh, we had this. So this is what we started with as a reference. So I was like, let's just do Toxie like this. So now that we have our basic inks now, we can come through and we can erase all the pencil work so that we don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, the way I do it is I leave just enough ink down so I don't have to, so I can see where I'm going. Oh, Ava, I think it's just you in here. You want to see something cool? Something I started today? But I can't do anything that I've started for my Wednesday live streams, because my Wednesday live streams, I want to start from a completely blank piece of paper to a finished product. All right, you did not. Oh yeah, here we go. Let me zoom out so you can see as much as you can. So, Bebop and Rocksteady. That's pretty cool. So here's the digital layout that I did. So that'll be enough to get me in the ballpark. And then this will be all where the detail lives, stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to. I did this today before lunch, and since I don't have much else to do, like that's probably what I'll work on tomorrow. I wish I had work, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Thank you, Ava. Yeah, so with the time that I have, I'm just trying to come up with like fan art ideas that can hopefully try to make me money for shows. I don't know what else to do. So I know that there's a lot of Ninja Turtle fans, and I'm like, well, where would my skill set fall in doing Ninja Turtle stuff? Well, if I did Rocksteady and Bebop or Toka and Razor, like those are characters that are singing for me. Like those would be the ones that I think I could really do a good job with. I'm not quite sure. And I already did kind of like that one turtle thing that I did. And I'm like, all right, well, if people come to my table and they want Ninja Turtles, I got that one Ronin thing. But now I can have this this Bebop and Rocksteady piece. And I think that's, to me, that feels genuine. Like that it doesn't feel like me doing a cash grab. Like some people just draw whatever's hot. You know, what's the cool thing for the moment? Let's make a print of that. And that's fine. But I genuinely want to do stuff that either interests me or I want to see what my version of that thing looks like. Like Chainsaw Man. I don't know anything about the Chainsaw Man the story or the manga or the TV show or whatever, but I know that it looks like a fun character to draw. And I know that I don't have any anime in my fan art section when I do shows. So that's why I did the Chainsaw Man piece, because I wanted to see what my version of it would look like. We're going to have to go back in here. We're going to have to play with some line weights because this doesn't feel good right now. It should be feeling better, I think, and it's just not. And I can't put my finger on why, other than maybe it's the lack of line weights. I don't know. But I'm hoping you guys are having a great day. Let's say you said you're not. I did say that. I am not a. You know what? I say that, and then you guys will be like giving me shit whenever I do like a halfway decent female pinup or whatever, and I'm just like, I can't draw females like on people's sketch covers. Like I can't draw them without a lot of thought has to go into it. So there's a lot of preparation on doing my under sketch and looking up reference and undos and redos and, you know, take a piece of this drawing, take a piece of that drawing. There's a lot of that goes into me making a female thing. I had a dream years ago about Godzilla versus Game of Thrones. Oh wow, I I need to have another Godzilla piece. I had one that was pretty popular before I started like leaning heavily into the comic book stuff. I know there's a huge market for Godzilla stuff. I know that there are diehards, and Godzilla is very textured. Like there's a lot of texture going on there in his skin, and that's kind of my jam. But it would have to be interesting, like I need something more. I don't just need to do it just to have it. I want something more. So what could I have it do? What could I have him doing, or what would make mine stand out? That's what I kind of think about when I do these. Is like, why am I doing this? Why would someone pick mine over somebody else's? Like, what have I done differently that doesn't look like the 18 million other fan art pieces of whatever that character is in Artist Alley? Why is someone wanting mine? So I try to have an answer for that question. But I mean, if it's fighting the Game of Thrones dragon, see what you've done is you've created a cool piece. But what if someone just wants the Godzilla and they don't really care about the Game of Thrones thing? So now I'm like, and not that I wouldn't do it, but here's the thing. I've got to think about this like as a business, right? So what could I do that would get me the most sales of that piece? And the more that I go outside of what the core character is, the more I'm limiting the audience that could possibly buy this. They'll be like, oh, I would buy it, but I'm really not into Game of Thrones. Would it look cool? Yes. But I also have to do this smartly, and I have to say, what would that demographic? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like if you do a Harley Quinn and Deadpool, like people are going to buy that. But there are some things that are just so specific, and for the amount of time and effort and for the cost, I want to do things that I can sell out of, and I don't. I've got a shitload of. Nobody gave a shit about the Inktober that I did. Like very few people. Normally, my Inktober is how I can have my November. I can pay my bills in November. But this Inktober, no one doing the Fifth Element, which was selfish on my part because it was for me, didn't pan out. No one, it did not get the response that Mortal Kombat and He-Man and horror movies and stuff. And I knew that, but I mean, I didn't realize it was going to be as much of a drop off as it was. No, you're naming off a bunch of cool things. And if somebody were paying me to do them, I would do them. But if I'm going to do something that I'm trying to make money with, like I said, I have to put my business hat on and think that way. Like at one point I was like, I had oh yeah, I guess I can zoom back in. Thank you, Mr. I don't even know how you would say that. Mr. Jida? I know, and it doesn't. It makes it even more difficult that This isn't a side hustle for me, and like I have to find some fucking work, and I'm not finding it. and I really don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next month. So that's the fun part of doing this. And it's not like I have a second income or a roommate or anything. Just me just trying to fucking not die. What is someone asked me how I was doing? Yeah, it ain't easy, Mister. Someone asked me today how I was doing, and I said scraping by, trying not to die. And I just came up with that as he messaged me. I was like, oh, dude, that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to use that now. I'm going to have to use that more. Scraping by and trying not to die. It's pretty cool when you get that that word, this rhymingness or whatever it is. It's not an alliteration, but it's one of those English words, one of those Englishy things. Well, thank you, Ava. I hope you had a great day. I started a bit early today because I was like, not a whole lot of people tune into this anyway, so I'll just get started whenever I want to and say sorry to those that expected me to go at 10:30. Like, I'm just going to have to change the time that I have listed because a lot of people don't show up anyway. So fuck them, right? I have been hearing how much everybody hates that Velma show on HBO. So truth be told, I was never like a super huge Scooby-Doo person, right? But I did try to watch the first episode, and I was just like, fuck, this is... I did not enjoy anything about what I watched. And I only watched like the first 10 minutes. And I was just like, I got other shit I could be doing. This is terrible. So I imagine for the people that are true like fans of the IP that grew up with Scooby-Doo aren't... And what's sad about that whole thing... You're spitting out lyrics. What's sad about the whole thing is that some people may misread it as, oh, the nerds are just mad because we made Velma black and we made Norval black, or, you know, we made Daphne Asian, and that's not what people are mad about. People are mad about it because the show's just dumb. It's not. It wants to be risky, it wants to be controversial or, pushing the envelope and stuff, but it's just missing the mark all over the place. That's why people aren't liking it. Not because of you've not gender swap, but you've race swapped some of the roles. And that's what those Hollywood people will get out of it is, oh, these people aren't happy that we changed their race. That's not it, motherfucker. You're so out of touch. So that looks pretty textured to me. I think we've got it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, there was just... I'm still not a 100% fan of the Harley Quinn show. It's not bad like Velma, but it takes some getting used to. Like it wasn't... I'll watch it like if I run out of other things to watch, but... Oh, I forgot. So we're using a number 1 in case anybody's watching. I feel like the worst part is that people working on the show want us to get mad about. Yeah, and I don't understand. Like I think Mindy Kaling is one of the major producers of that show. Like she's like the driving force behind it. Not just the voice. She's also got her own money invested in this and trying to make it succeed. And I just like, it seems like there should have been people in their circle that kind of said, "Hey, are you sure about this? Like, look at this on the other side." Like, it just. But like I said, the show will fail, and it will blame it on woke people just don't want to see, or not woke people, those damn white males, cis white males don't want to see anybody different. And I don't think that's true. I don't exactly know what the word cis white male is, but I think that's what I am. I think cis white male means you're like a heterosexual white male, right? I don't know. I'm a heterosexual white male, and I can't do anything about it. I don't know. I don't follow enough politics to give a shit. Oh, what's up, Josh? I love Teen Titans cartoon. Uh, the I watched Teen Titans Go. I know that's not. I don't think that's the same one you're talking about, Ava. But Chance likes Teen Titans Go, so I will. I bought the Teen Titans Go movie, and every now and then he'll sit down still enough to watch Teen Titans Go, and we'll watch some. And I haven't. I thought that video game was going to be good, but I don't hear any good reports on that video game, the Gotham Knights or whatever. I was going to get it, but I'll just hold on to my money and get the Suicide Squad game. I'm putting like little pieces of corn in there, like he's a turd. Yeah. So recently I watched the show Atlanta. There's four seasons of that, and I was like, all right, well, let's see what this is. So I watched that, and that was a very interesting show. I enjoyed it a lot. And then I watched all 7 seasons of The Workaholics, which I was already familiar with, so that wasn't new. I just hadn't seen all the episodes. So that was fun. For sure. Dude, the workaholics thing is hilarious. Like, they're constantly saying, "Oh, that's tight butthole. That's tight butthole." And I don't think I have enough friends. I don't have any friends, but I don't think I interact with enough people that are familiar with the show for me to walk around saying, "Oh, that's tight butthole." I miss having friends, man, but it's a lot less stressful because you don't have to. I don't know. It's a weird trade off not having friends versus some of the baggage that comes with friendships. So there's that. So yeah, I've watched all the league. Uh, the league I've probably watched about 4 times through the whole series. Sunny in Philadelphia, I've probably watched about 6 times all the way through, like for the whole up to whatever the current season is. And so all the workaholics, and I've watched uh, all the seasons of House MD probably about 5 times through. I really like the show House. And I'm waiting for the new season of Dave to come out. Well, that looks pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Hey, Ryan just hopped on. Happy Hump Day, Hump Day, Hump Day, Fump Day. I do need to figure out how I can start fumping. I mean, I'm not the most active creature, but every now and then a good fump can do wonders for your self-esteem, right? Maybe, shit, I don't know. It could do more damage than good. So I got to go back Friday, and they want to do reshoots on whatever I shot Sunday. They're like, "Hey, are you available Friday to reshoot some stuff?" So here, this is for you guys. So I was playing my role name. So this will make it pretty apparent what was going on. My character name, my thing was White Cop. Like that was what I was supposed to be. I was White Cop. So my character has pulled over a pregnant black lady, and apparently she gets all mouthy or whatever, and my character takes her pregnant ass to the ground, like drops her to the ground. And she is just yelling and screaming and cussing and going crazy, and there's a bunch of people around recording it on their phones and stuff. And I am on top of this pregnant lady, just say, "Put your hands behind your back. Lady, stop being so difficult. Put your hands behind your back." And I am giving her the business. Like I am yelling and cursing and all kinds of shit in this lady's face. And she's fake pregnant, right? So she has like a belly, one of those fake baby bump things. And I even like intentionally like start bumping on her belly, because that's part of what the story is that I'm an insensitive white cop and she's pregnant, and there's no way that I should be doing the things that I'm doing. That's even if she was getting out of hand, there's no way a police officer would act the way that my character is acting. But so I got to do a close up. So while I have her on the ground, like I lean in and put my face right on top of her face and start yelling at her and stuff. It's pretty exciting to picture yourself doing that. Thank you, Wendy. So it's fun to get to do that and know that it's not real, you know? Like, so after they yell cut a couple times, yeah, I help her off the ground, and then I'm just like, man, this guy is just so bad. Like, and then we take pictures. So, you know, and the baby bump prosthetic, her little pregnant belly was white person color, like peach colored underneath of her dress. And so we took a couple of pictures of her lifting up and showing off her pregnant belly. And I acted like I was the father, because I was still dressed like a cop. And she was a black lady with a white belly. So it's kind of funny looking. I'm sure those pictures will turn up somewhere. And then, you know, like pictures of me with like the nightstick out, acting like I'm beating up people and stuff. It's kind of fun, but I feel kind of bad. Like, I don't know. I don't want So, like, if these pictures were to get out and the wrong people see them, then they'll be like, I have a hard time making decisions in video games. Yeah, I hear you. Uh, this is for a short film that's it's supposed to they're going to be entering it in some sort of they're entering it in festivals and stuff, and it the subject matter is like Roe v. Wade stuff, and that's what is driving this whole story because it's more of like an anthology. Like I'm just one story that comes from what the subject is. So it's not a movie that I'm fully going to be throughout. It's just I'm one scene because the movie is going to show different people reacting to different situations that are all kind of tied together through a common whatever it is, you know. She said like they're going to do a scene this Sunday where kids in the classroom are reacting to something, and she was kind of secretive on what that would be. So I don't want to make the whole skin like this because then it'll be like, well, why didn't you do all of this shit on the face? So I kind of got to lay off of that. I wanted to do it right here because that way I don't have to draw like any, I really don't have to get too much into like the anatomy. So we can just kind of like trail off with some of that detail and just kind of go. I mean, down here will be a little darker because we want to kind of indicate that maybe there's some sort of bicep stuff going on there, but we don't know what it is. So we'll throw a couple out here just to kind of keep the texture going. And then maybe we'll do something a little different. Maybe we'll put all of that texture like on the shoulder. Well, no, because his armpit's doing the same thing. Let's see. So what do we need to do? We really need to work over here some more, but I don't want to. I want to work over here. So I'll do whatever I want. I'll do whatever I want. I challenge you to tell me something different. So that was really fun. I don't have any pictures other than the ones that I've posted. Yeah, so there's the black police officer, there's the sound guy, there's the director, and there's the mother of this guy. I think he was like 17 years old. His role was to freak out while I was arresting the lady. Like he was ready to come throw a brick at me while I was taking that lady under arrest, and he was wondering why the black officer wasn't stopping me from doing what I was doing. So in reality, it's more about my black police partner, why he chose to let me do what I did and not jump in. I won't give away what happens, but there's a pretty significant thing that happens at the end of our scene. And that was fun. So they filmed some stuff in slow motion, and that's the part that I guess didn't come out the way they wanted it to. So they asked me to come back and film more slow motion stuff. Let's see. Do you know the reasoning behind cutting a character off like halfway? All right, hold on. Do you know the reasoning behind cutting a character off like halfway up the head or the back of the head at the edge of the paper? Uh, I don't know exactly what you mean, but I did that the other day. Let me see if I have the piece. I did one. So here, let me zoom out so you can see this. Like this is an 11 by 17, so she's holding the severed head, and then the piece of paper ends, and there's nothing up here, right? That now the reason I set my piece up like that is because I want you to focus on the where I draw really well, and I didn't want to draw a female head that I would probably suck at. So I don't know that there's a thing going on. I'm certainly not aware of it. I'm certainly not aware of it. But I'm pretty oblivious to most things. So I don't keep my ear to the ground. I don't watch all these fucking live shows that everybody does. And oh, I've got a podcast. And I don't, I'm like, do you have a podcast or you just go live on Facebook every now and then? Like, there's a difference. The people that just go live on Facebook don't have a whole lot invested in it. But a podcast, they probably bought equipment. They have to get listeners on iTunes and stuff like that. So those people, when you do like real podcast stuff, like they'll probably do a little research. They'll want to ask questions. But everybody with Facebook just like, hey, so tell me what you're doing. Let's see. I wonder how Toxie would do with I'm sure it's coming. Well, thank you, Ava. It's going to Kickstarter, I think, in like next 2 weeks, whatever the project is. It's called like something other folly. I'm sure I'll share it a couple of times. I love that great composition. I just don't understand why when I don't know, maybe to focus on the boobs or I don't know why it would be. I guess maybe more like, those Mighty Morphin Power Ranger covers that they did where they were all holding their helmet. Like obviously their helmet was the focal point. So maybe people saw how much of a success that line of covers was. And they wanted to imitate it. I'm not sure. I can only tell you why I did it. And my reasoning is simply so I don't look like a goober that draws like this, really massive, nasty looking severed head. And then he's got like this girl's face and it's just like butch as hell. And you're like, oh man, why did he do that for? Oh, right on. Well, in the book, she does have a face. Like it's a witch lady, and she's out to get some sort of ring. Her precious. You know what? Let's see now. So when I do the face, I try to use a 1 to make sure that I get all the detail in I want. And then when I start getting out here, I'll switch it up to a 3 because I don't care about this detail as much as I do on the face. And I want to cover more ground. I don't want to be here all day working on stuff, right? So I just need this stuff to read kind of what it needs to be. I don't need, no one's investigating this area. they may investigate, but I'm just saying, like, I won't take nearly as much time on the further I get away from the head or whatever the focal point is, the less detail I tend to care about. Because this isn't really where I want you looking anyway. You know what I mean? Like I want you looking here at the face. One of the things I try to do is I try to make it look like I didn't do the whole thing with a brush pen. So every now and then I'll look and see if I've got any pen marks over there. Good night, Ava. Sleep tight. Yeah, I don't have any answers. I actually don't. I'm not even super familiar with the exam of what examples you're talking about. Simply because I can't afford to collect comic books anymore. Like I said, I'm having trouble paying bills. So, like I posted today on Facebook, like, hey, I could really use, if people want to buy some prints, and nobody bought a print. I'm like, all right, I'm not saying anything, but I just figured, like, out of all the people, you figured somebody would have bought one. But that didn't happen. So, got to figure out something else to do. Got to figure out a new approach. Figure out that new approach. Oh. It's just fan art you're speaking of. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of people that don't like drawing heads. Maybe it's people like me. Buy some. I appreciate this sentiment. Like I'm hoping I can get this acting thing to take off, and it'll remove a little bit of the pressure of always having to. But I'm not getting paid to do these acting things. I'm volunteering myself just to try to get experience. I'm getting exposure. But I'm getting exposure. Like, so when it comes to doing what I'm doing, like they post all of the jobs that you can apply for. So you know whether or not that job pays or whether you be doing it just for experience. So it's not like they're baiting and switching you. So I don't want you to think that. Like I signed up knowing that I wasn't going to get paid. Exposure. That's the currency of creativity. Can pay you with some exposure. So I'm listening to Exhibit right now. Well, we're not all ballers like you, buddy. I'm listening to Exhibit right now, and there's a line in this song where it talks about I might meet, you never know when I might meet my next ex wife. I really enjoy that line. Yeah, it's hard out there for a pimp. I cut your goddamn pimp's heart out. You damn pimp. I cut your goddamn pimp's heart out, pimp. I cut your goddamn pimp's heart out. All right, we're gonna go back to the three, and I don't want to spend all day. Fuck, I guess I have to. Shit, I don't want to. I have a wife who makes my money, luckily. Yeah, rock on. Oh, hold on, we missed something. Going back to TV, binge watching The Ranch on Netflix. I have not watched any of The Ranch. I think that's the Ashton Kutcher show, right? I have not watched any of those. I have a wife who makes money. I feel you. I have not. I was trying to find something that I thought that would be fun to draw because I started this doing these on Wednesday and I hoped that I would get enough interaction for people making suggestions, but that's not happening. And I hate I hate making posts that don't get responses because then it makes me feel like I'm doing something. I'm not worth, like, people don't give a shit, and I don't. So if I do a post and I'm like, hey, I'm doing a live drawing tonight, guys, come by, make suggestions on who you want, and it'll be like one or two people that make 80 suggestions, but I want it to be more encompassing than that. Or sometimes they don't respond at all, and I'm just like, well, why do I do this if nobody's caring? So this time I did something different. I just told people, hey, this is what the fuck I'm drawing. You guys can come by and check it out or not. But I thought if people picked what I did, then I could probably also sell the originals. Like, it would be easier for me to sell the originals if I was doing what the audience had picked. But I haven't had anybody offer to buy any of these, so I'm just doing them for practice. And I started doing this. Well, I didn't. It wasn't popular. Like I see Jason Flowers doing his Radical Turtle Wednesdays, and when I picked Wednesday, he was doing his Radical or Turtle Tuesdays, and now it's Radical Wednesdays, and I'm just like, I know that David Finch does his uh, on Mondays, so I was like, well, here's the thing, Kevin. That's understandable, but nobody even watches my replays like on YouTube or anything, or even kind of like queues it up. They don't have to watch the whole thing, but they don't even queue it up. So I'm really second guessing spending the money that I did to have this streaming software, because I had to pay a fucking chunk to get the top-notch streaming thing. And now I have to have it for a year because they've already got their money. So even if I wanted to stop doing this, like, my financial brain says that's a dumb move. So I don't know what the fuck I need to be doing. Oh, you made me. I went off on a whole rant. Yeah, I've heard everybody really enjoys the Wednesday show, and I was never a big Addams Family person, but I wasn't like anti Addams Family either. So I think I watched the first episode of the new show, and I thought it was fine. I just hadn't made my way back to it. Oh, so what you're saying is I should try to draw Wednesday Addams with the little hand. Now we're trying to get me to draw females on a live stream. That's dangerous, man. We already know that I have a hang up about females, and part of that is like I don't want to ever do them in front of somebody. That's why I don't do them on sketch covers, because I don't want to. I don't want to be on the spot. And since I do these start to finish, like I come in here with no pre-draw. It's just we start from start to finish. We do a drawing. That's I want my live stream to demonstrate how we go from 0 to 25. So the only way I would be comfortable doing like a Wednesday piece would be like if I was able to like sit down and kind of plan out, do a rough draft, do a sketch, kind of figure it out. But I see what you're doing, man. You're trying to get me to do it. Because you're like, Bryan, if no one's watching, then what are you worried about? Yeah, I hear you. Oh wow, I've never really drawn any of the Darkness characters. I'm assuming that you're talking about the Mark Silvestri stuff, right? Is this a Bo Jackson? I guess so. I wanted it to be like a cocky Toxie. So I don't know. They want to make sure that they can get the ass in there, Wendy, I guess. Uh so I was like, this is a cocky pose, and I can picture that being his mop. And I just thought that Toxie he's like modeling. I thought it would be funny if it was modeling. Yeah, the top cow. I'm not. I know what it looks like, and I have never played the game or really read the comic. Now, what there is a, I'll let you guys know that there is a fan art that I plan on doing after I finish. For anyone that came in late, I'm doing a Bebop and Rocksteady kind of doing a Bebop and Rocksteady fan art piece. And after I do that, I think I'm going to do, this is a rough draft, but I think I'm going to do that Crow piece. I'm going to do that like full size on an 11 by 17, I think. But I would much rather be paid to draw something for somebody. So we'll see if any jobs come in between now and then. Because I know that Crow is a pretty popular fan art thing at conventions. So maybe I can move some of those. Guardian of the Galaxy will be really hot coming up soon. Yeah. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. What do I did one. One of my was right after the holiday special. I drew Drax and Mantis on one of these Wednesday streams from start to finish. Let me see. I got it over here because nobody bought it, so I still have it. If I can find it. Well, I don't know where I put it. I don't want to take up all your time. But I don't know where I put it. I can't find it. I can't find it, but I promise you I did one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady. See, this was my rough draft. And then this is the basic lines that I'll be working with tomorrow. And then hopefully, like I have so much, like I wish I could, my time. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep on this shirt. It's a melted ass shirt. So, yeah, you got it. So we'll kind of just where I want to indicate like where shadows would be. I'll just get this and just kind of do you check the guest list for cons you're doing? I don't. I do look at the guest list for people that are going to be at the show, but I have found that that doesn't usually translate into sales for me. I tried that, and for me, like my prints, not to say anything about anyone else's prints, but my prints are of a high quality, and I have to send them off, and it's not like I can do them. I don't have a fast turnaround time to get them back. Like I have to send them and wait like 3 weeks to get them back and stuff like that. So I couldn't do it very fast. But like, so I did a show in Shreveport, and Danhausen was there, and that was a big attraction. Danhausen's a wrestler, and I actually worked on a comic book and did the cover for a Danhausen comic book. And I had made a couple of prints of the cover art that I did for the Danhausen comic book. I think I sold one. So and that wasn't the first instance, but it's like if they're going to get something from their favorite celebrity or whatever, they're going to get something at their table to get signed. They're really not shopping and then saying, "Oh, I can take that over there to get signed." They don't That's not how their brains are working. And I found that out like at horror shows. Like you go to a horror convention and then you'll draw like this picture of Jason and Kane Hodder will be there and you're like, "Oh, this is a guaranteed win. I can't go wrong." And turns out everybody wanted to spend their money taking pictures with Kane Hodder. They don't want to buy Jabroni Williams's print of some fan art. So they don't give a shit about buying the fan art from somebody they don't know or don't care about. They're going to save their money and do the photo opportunity. Not that I blame them, but I found that out kind of like the hard way. I did see that. I shared it. So I'll show you what I did last time. Now what I do is I'll figure out who's going to conventions and then I'll draw a sketch card of who I like and then I'll have them sign it. So Danhausen signed this sketch card. So these are my sketch cards that I draw. And so I'll be doing one for Jungle Boy for Huntsville and maybe a couple other people. But when I see there's someone at a show that I want to get their autograph, I will draw a sketch card and have them sign it and put it on my wall. Yeah, I'm guessing that Kevin has had the same experience at doing horror shows. Like you think that, oh my God, uh, Kane Hodder and what's his name, Robert Englund are going to be here. So I'm going to do a Freddy versus Jason print and nobody is going to give a flying fuck at that show. But if you go to a comic book convention where the guest is like Kevin Eastman or something, you probably sell more at that show simply because people are like, "Oh, that's cool. I like horror. I'll buy that." But they would not take that to go get it signed. Like if Kevin Eastman was at a show and I had that Bebop and Rocksteady or a Ninja Turtle print, do you think that someone is going to buy the print from me and then go have the creator sign that? No. No, no, no. So it's a weird. I don't want to say science because I don't have it figured out, but I know that there's some things that I have found to be true. And it could just be those are my experiences. I don't know. Maybe somebody is just selling the hell out. Like, maybe like if Rob Liefeld was at a show, maybe somebody would buy like a fan art of Deadpool and have him sign it. Maybe. Or no, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Maybe they would pay Rob Liefeld, commission Rob Liefeld to draw Jason Voorhees, and then take that to Kane Hodder to get signed, because Rob Liefeld is of note. You know what I mean? Like they're not getting Jabroni Bryan to have an artwork signed, but they would maybe take a Todd McFarlane piece over there and have it signed by the actor or whatever, but not Jabroni Bryan. And like I said, that's just what I believe to be true. May not be for everybody. I don't know. I have, let's see, I draw 2 cards. That's usually what I do, unless the show is really really big, and I know that won't work because they have handlers. When they have handlers, it's tough to pull off the trade. If there's no handlers there, I can usually square away a 1-for-1. Like I'll give you one and you sign one for me. But if there's a handler there, that just doesn't work. So I always have to go with money. I have people buy originals from me and then get them signed out. Well, oh yeah, I guess that would work. I don't have that same experience. I don't sell a lot of originals. No one, either I've priced myself too high because I think I've priced myself for what what I think my pieces are worth. And apparently that doesn't fit into a lot of people's budgets. So I can't, so I don't know what you're selling your originals for, but I have found in my experience that I don't move a whole lot of them. Like, see, this would be 75 bucks. If someone were to buy these from my stream, like all of these stream pieces I've done, these are 75 bucks. So when I draw like this Rocksteady and Bebop, when this thing is done, this will be, I'll sell this for 500 bucks. Or I'll put a 500 buck price tag on it. I doubt I'll sell it, but that's what the price will be on that. And that's just how that goes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still have all of these. I thought that people would want them. Like, see, someone said that he's going to come get that one. Then I got that one. That was just something else I did. And then I got this Creech that I did. Oh, you want to see this? This right here is a commission that I did for somebody, so this one can't be for sale. But this is that Velma piece. Like it's like a movie poster. And then here's something that I haven't shown anybody. You guys are special because I'm about to show you something I haven't shown anybody. So that's cool. Oh, I forgot to throw these away. Yeah, but that's why they're there. Yeah, so Kevin, that's the piece. That Dread is what I did for 2000 AD. Remember a while back I said that I was working on something for a publisher? That's what I was working on. I did a pinup for 2000 AD. That's what that is. And I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome, man. Because I had emailed them and asked them if I could do any work with them. And he said, would you like to draw Judge Dredd? And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that's kind of like, that would be the best thing you could offer me is to draw Judge Dredd. And then so I sent them the draft to get approval. And he was like, yeah, that works. And so then I drew it. And then I scanned it in and I sent it to him. And he said, "Oh, that looks great." And now it's been a little bit, but I'm waiting payment. I have not been paid yet. Like, I honestly don't even care if I get paid. I just want to see it get used. Back to that whole exposure thing. Like, I just want it to get used. You want to see something else real quick, Kevin? Let me show you something since you're here. Got these prints made. I haven't even opened them yet. Let's open them and see. All right, maybe now it won't have so much shine on it. Let's see. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So I have the prints in hand, and I was going to wait until I got word from 2000 AD how the work would be used before I said I have those prints. Dude, those aren't my colors, by the way. I've started using a new colorist for those ones. I put his name on everything, and people still think that I'm the one coloring, and I don't have the skill set to pull it off. And those are all colored by Sean Lee. So whenever I have one of those prints that looks like it was kind of painted, those are the Sean Lee ones. So this is it. We're done. And that brings this to the end. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for showing up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And if you know somebody looking for some art and you want to send them my way, I would appreciate it. But if not, I get it. So stay creative, be good people, and I will try to do more cool shit to keep you guys entertained. So y'all be good.